Hello and welcome to Nationwide News on the network service of the NTA. I am Norlene Ebel-Ame with the news. The Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, PCNGI, is focused on intensifying efforts to expand CNG conversion centers nationwide, aiming for 500 centers and 150 retail outlets by the end of 2025. PCNGI Chief Executive Officer Michael Oluwagbemi noted this push is in line with President Tinubu's mandate for the initiative. Lydia Sampson reports.
Owners of vehicle conversion centers across Nigeria have applauded the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, crediting the program for its rapid growth and positive impact on the sector. Farouk Abdullah, CEO, Ultimate Spectrum Conversion Center, highlighted the numerous benefits, advantages, and impacts of the initiative. He reiterated how the number of centers have surged, funded through public-private partnership, which will ripple positive effects.
The CNG initiative is a timely and strategic intervention that addresses both economic and environmental challenges while creating a sustainable opportunities for citizens and businesses across Nigeria.
They reaffirmed their support for the PCNGI's mission to deliver cleaner, cheaper transport for Nigerians. While thanking them for their continued support, the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative leadership says the initiative remains focused on delivering targets, undeterred by opposition and criticism.
It's important that we all focus, following one course until successful. The energy transition program is less than 1 year old. We're already seeing the benefits. Reduction in transportation fare in key routes. Enablement of prosperity and opportunities for businesses and business people.
The initiative underscores the administration's resolve to drive sustainable energy reforms and economic growth without distraction. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
And talking politics, astute politicians on the platform of the defunct Congress for Progressive Change, CPC, has thrown their weight behind the transformative leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu beyond 2027, owing to what they described as a working presidency. Political correspondent Abubakar Akwanga reports.
The group, led by former governor of Nasarawa State Senator Morutanko Almakura, said the CPC bloc of the All Progressives Congress APC is determined to contribute to the success of the present administration and affirmed that there is no faction or division amongst members.
We must remain steadfast, patient, and supportive. We commend the bold steps taken by President Tinubu, and we urge Nigerians to trust the process, knowing that the foundation being laid today will lead to a more prosperous and secure future.
Senator Almakura further appealed to Nigerians to rally around the renewed hope agenda of the president and urged those craving for immediate solutions to Nigerian economic challenges to remain resolute and confident under the APC administration.
As we move forward, we do so with renewed strength, a deep sense of responsibility, and an unshakable commitment to the APC and the success of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, and ultimately the future of our beloved country.
Some of the chieftains at the World Press Conference were Governor Dikko Umar-Radda of Katsina State, former Governor of Katsina State Aminu Bello Masari, former Minority Leader of House of Representatives Farouk Adamu Aliyu, Chairman National Drug Law Enforcement Agency General Buba Marwa, among other chieftains of the APC. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
In a similar news, progressive commissioners of youth forum across the APC governed states in Nigeria has unveiled a strategic documents and frameworks to strengthen youth engagement and inclusion in mainstream governance and other critical sectors of the nation's economy. The forum is also harmonizing and sharing ideas in collaboration with Progressive Governors Forum to design a holistic template of impacting youth through innovative technology, funding of practical skills, and other enterprising initiatives.
The forum resolved to adopt a united interstate youth development framework across state collaboration, policy, coherence, and mutual learning. This strategic element is essential for scaling best practice, enhancing program delivery, and sustaining youth empowerment across APC governed states.
We have explored on how to harmonize youth development frameworks across the APC states, how to integrate digital innovation into empowerment programs, how to build resilience against the twin threats of drug and insecurity.
In a 9-paragraph communique, the forum commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for driving youth-oriented programs and for offering greater platform for them to thrive in their respective endeavors. Progressive Commissioners Forum appreciated all progressives governors for the continued support of all youth programs and later elected its new executive members under the leadership of Jigawa State Commissioner for Youth Development, Sagir Musa Ahmed. Talking security, the Nigerian Navy has inaugurated for a 60,000-litre capacity integrated solar industrial borehole for Bayanwaya community in Kontagora local government area of Niger State. Dauda Mohammed reports that this brings to 8 projects so far facilitated by the Nigerian Navy as part of efforts at repositioning civil-military cooperation across the country.
For the people of Kontagora local government area of Niger State, it is not a familiar sight to see officers of the Nigerian Navy in bush jackets within their community. This unfamiliar sight is because the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Ikechukwu Ogala, under the Special Quick Win Intervention Projects to facilitate the attainment of a reinvigorated naval civil-military cooperation, approved the construction of a 60,000-litre integrated solar-powered motorized industrial borehole for Bayanwaya community in the area.
We appeal that in keeping with the tenets of civil-military cooperation, the good people of this community and indeed Niger State at large continue to collaborate with the Nigerian Navy.
Let us take full ownership of it.
Goodwill messages featured from the representative of the Niger State Governor, member representing Kontagora 1, and the representative of the Emir of Kontagora. Souvenirs were presented to deserving individuals, while children from the community thrilled the gathering with their songs and dance steps. With non-kinetic approaches through execution of projects that address pressing community challenges. Dauda Mohammed, NTA News.
Thank you, Dauda. In the meantime, most of the terrorists and headsmen carrying out attacks in parts of the country are foreigners. The Director Defense Media Operations, Major General Marcos Kange, who stated this at a bi-weekly news conference in Abuja, stressed that the foreign assailants also have Nigerian collaborators. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports.
On Wednesday, troops of Operation Hadin Kai countered terrorist attacks in Malam Fatori and Izigi communities of Borno State.
Many of those terrorizing our people are foreigners. Truth be told, some of them are also Nigerians. So when we arrest these hackers and terrorists sometimes, even the way they speak, the way their physical physique will tell you that this person is not from Nigeria.
Security forces are re-strategizing to curb the resurgence of attacks in the northeast and other parts of the country.
As we speak, the Chief of Army Staff, Chief of Operations, and all other relevant staff officers are currently in the northeast. They have been there for about 3 to 4 days now, and they are strategizing, assessing, and then blocking the loopholes in order to carry out to the letter the presidential directive.
While security forces develop new strategies to curb insecurity, locals of affected communities yearn for safety. From the Defense Headquarters in Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Still on security, the welfare of police personnel will be given a special consideration, and operational assets will be provided for them to carry out their internal security assignments effectively. The Ministry of Police Affairs gave the assurance during a visit to the Nigeria Police Trust Fund. Francis Fong reports.
This is the first time the leadership of the Ministry of Police Affairs is visiting the Nigeria Police Trust Fund. As a supervising ministry, the delegation emphasized the need for deeper collaboration with the Trust Fund in key areas including the provision of modern equipment, renovation of barracks, and construction of standard police stations nationwide. This partnership, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry said, is essential to delivering on President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, which prioritizes national security and the welfare of security personnel.
Understanding your operational framework and identifying areas where the ministry can provide support and facilitate your work is of utmost importance to us.
Despite early challenges, we have implemented numerous impactful interventions from infrastructure and vehicles to training, welfare, technology, logistics across commands nationwide.
The visit marks a significant steps towards harmonizing efforts to uplift the standards of policing and ensure a safer and more secure Nigeria. Francis from NTA News.
Let's take you to the Vatican, where Pope Leo XIV has promised to bring light to dark and suffering areas in the world. This was during his historic first Mass, celebrated in the Sistine Chapel a day after his election. Ekenendulwe reports.
Pope Leo XIV has celebrated his first Mass in the Sistine Chapel, where he was elected less than 24 hours earlier, and prayed that his historic papacy can help the Catholic Church be a beacon illuminating the dark nights of this world. Leo XIV, the former Cardinal Robert Prevost and the first U.S. Pope, looked serene as he said the Mass in the famous frescoed chapel with the same cardinals who chose him to be the 267th pontiff and the successor to Pope Francis. Dressed in relatively simple white and gold vestments, Leo XIV, who was born in Chicago but spent 2 decades as a missionary in Peru, said a few words in English before continuing his homily in fluent Italian. He painted the spiritual picture of the church he would like to see under his papacy. The Pope said he was elected new head of the world's 1.4 billion Catholics, so the church can be a beacon to reach areas suffering a lack of faith. In Abuja, Ekene Ndulwe, NTA News.
In a similar news, as he takes the helm of the world's 1.4 billion Catholics, many look to Pope Leo XIV as a bridge between tradition and transformation. But who is Robert Prevost, Pope Leo XIV? Ekene Ndulwe again has the details.
69-year-old Robert Prevost is the 267th occupant of the throne of St. Peter, and he will be known as Leo XIV. He is the first American to fill the role of Pope, although he is considered as much a cardinal from Latin America because of the many years he spent as a missionary in Peru before becoming an archbishop there. Born in Chicago in 1955 to parents of Ecuadorian and French descent, Prevost served as an altar boy and was ordained as a priest in 1982. Although he moved to Peru 3 years later, he returned regularly to the U.S. to serve as a pastor and a prior in his home city. He has Peruvian nationality and is fondly remembered as a figure who worked with marginalized communities and helped build bridges.
He spent 10 years as a local parish pastor and as a teacher at a seminary in Trujillo in northwestern Peru. He is well known to cardinals because of his high-profile role as prefect of the dicastery for bishops in Latin America, which has the important task of selecting and supervising bishops. Pope Francis made him a cardinal less than 2 years ago. He will be seen as a figure who favored the continuity of Pope Francis' reforms in the Catholic Church. Prevost is believed to have shared Pope Francis' views on migrants, the poor, and the environment. Although he is an American and will be fully aware of the divisions within the Catholic Church, his Latin American background also represents continuity after a pope who came from Argentina. In Abuja, Ekene Ndulue, NTA News.
Congratulations to the Pontiff. Now let's take you to our Lagos studio where Hingino John Adams has more stories to present to us from the Center of Excellence. Hello Hingino, it's over to you.
Lynn, and welcome to Lagos. Still on the new Pope, Catholics across the world and indeed Christians have been celebrating the announcement of the new Pontiff for the Catholic Church and sovereign head of the Vatican City State. He is Pope Leo XIV. He was elected 17 days after the death of Pope Francis and has been described as a liberal, humble, and easily accessible clergy. In Lagos, the clergy and laity expressed their expectations from the papal to unite the universal church. Ime Udori's report is here presented.
If we were to ask for a pope that is African, or a pope that is American, or a pope that is Italian, because a pope is not to be identified strictly with where he comes from, because he's a servant of all.
Archbishop of the Metropolitan See of Lagos, Most Reverend Alfred Adewale Martins, speaking few days after the passing of Pope Francis on Easter Monday. With 133 cardinals in the Sistine Chapel for over 24 hours, the second day of the conclave witnessed the release of the white smoke, indicating Habemus Papam, which means we have a new pope. He is Pope Leo XIV. He was, until his election on Thursday, 8th of May 2025, known as Cardinal Robert Prevost. He is the 267th Pope and the first American pontiff in the history of the Church from Chicago.
His inaugural speech yesterday at the Vatican shows that he's going to be a man of peace and that he is not jettisoning the legacies of Pope Francis.
I'm very confident that the Pope is going to succeed, because even if you look at his demeanor, you know that this man is a man of solitude.
We expect that this Pope that is coming up will be able to unite all Catholics.
The 69-year-old who studied mathematics is a missionary and was head of the Augustinian order for decades. The Pope has spent most of his career overseas, studying in Rome and in Peru since 1985. He was ordained priest in 1982 and has held senior roles at the Vatican, including head of dicastery for bishops and president of the Commission for Latin American Catholics, where he worked with the late Pope Francis and was made a cardinal in 2023.
Now talking health. The present administration's industrialization policy, which encourages local manufacturing, is gradually achieving its purpose in the medical field. Director General of the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Christina Adeyeye, who is spearheading regulation and controlling of manufacturing medicines and medical equipment, says a company in Nigeria recently achieved the World Health Organization's pre-qualification of an auto-disable syringe after a rigorous process guided by NAFDAC. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, is currently on the World Health Organization's Maturity Level 3 for national medicines regulatory authorities. This means the agency is recognized as a stable, well-functioning regulatory authority for medicines and vaccines, both locally produced and imported. The feat is now yielding positive results with the pre-qualification of a Nigerian company by the WHO.
As of 2023, only
functional facilities have a combined installed capacity of over 2.5 billion syringes per annum. However, they were functioning below 20% capacity.
Professor Adeyeye is optimistic that more companies will be pre-qualified to improve the safety of Nigerians.
This achievement has strengthened NAFDAC's drive for more collaboration, synergy, and appropriate policy to support Nigeria's manufacturing industries.
The DG says NAFDAC will continue to support more local manufacturers who have shown a history of continued compliance with the agency's extant regulations. Those are the stories from Lagos. Nationwide continues with Asmau Habib Shagari in Sokoto after the break.
Thank you for joining us here in Sokoto on Nationwide. The European Union (EU) has reaffirmed its commitment to supporting girl child education in Sokoto State in view of its crucial role in accelerating development. EU Ambassador to Nigeria Gautier Mino gave the assurance during a visit to a Quranic school supported by the EU and UNICEF in Yabu local government area of Sokoto State. Abdullahi Umar Ilalu reports.
This Quranic school, popularly known as Makarantar Malam Umar Kabawa, is a beneficiary of the EU and UNICEF support. It is currently an integrated school that enables the pupils to have access to both Islamic and Western education. The EU's ambassadors and other development partners took time off to interact with the teachers and children. The EU ambassador to Nigeria, Gautier Mino, maintains that education is a powerful tool in fast-tracking development and prosperity, noting that prosperous societies are those where women are educated and contribute to the labor market. At Sokoto North local government area, the delegation visited a nomadic school being supported by the EU, where the Fulani children were spotted taking lessons in their classrooms.
It's about giving them opportunities, give them chance to grow up and be more armed, more skilled in the future. To live their lives and be citizens who will contribute to the prosperity of the community.
UNICEF is here to support, but we have to remember that health is not an expenditure. Health for children is an investment and it should be a priority by the entire country.
While in Sokoto North local government area, the European Union ambassadors, led by EU Ambassador to Nigeria Gautier Mino, inspected the Rumbukawa Primary Healthcare Center that provides essential healthcare services to women and children.
I want to assure you, this is just a sample. Already 116 primary health centers have been awarded for revitalization across the state. And this is one of them, and certainly the work is ongoing. I have already started visiting some of them where they have completed other local government.
These are part of the EU's ongoing efforts to boost healthcare delivery in Sokoto State and Nigeria. From Sokoto, Abdullah Omar Ilalu, NTA News.
Graduates of the Vocational Center Program organized by the Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association, NAOWA 8th Division Nigeria Army Sokoto, have been encouraged to utilize the skills acquired to become self-reliant and contribute their quota towards boosting the nation's economy at a time when the Renewed Hope initiative of President Bola Tinubu is advocating patronage of made in Nigeria products. The NAOWA chairperson, Meg Indide Ajose, made the call during the graduation ceremony of the trainees held at the Gigia Cantonment, Sokoto. Nalata Abdullahi has more.
The program aims to equip the students with specific skills, knowledge, and competencies to enhance their productivity. The training also sought to develop skilled workforce to fast-track Nigeria's growth and development. Having successfully completed the training, the graduates are not just certificate holders, but skilled professional fashion designers, tailors, bag makers, makeup artists, hairdressers, and caterers, among others. This is part of NAOWA's life-transforming initiatives and promotion of unity.
You are the builders of small market and engineers of innovation. You are problem solvers and creators in our society.
It is hoped that the graduates will take advantage of the training to become innovative entrepreneurs who will contribute toward the socio-economic development of the country. In Sokoto, Alhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And those are the stories from here. It's back to Nolin in Abuja for the continuation of the news.
Thank you very much, Asma Habibu Shagari. Post-harvest losses due to lack of adequate storage facilities is one of the factors militating against food sufficiency and security in Nigeria. But the solution to this challenge is inside where an associate professor of electronics and control systems at the Federal University of Agriculture, Abuja, invented a fruit storage facility with the capacity of extending the shelf life of fruits for 12 months. Lekon Abonde tells us more about this innovation.
Human desire to improve existing solutions, explore new possibilities in food storage technology, and increase productivity inspire the research and technological invention of this state-of-the-art technology named Harvest Harbor by the inventor.
It has the ability to preserve and keep harvested, matured fruit crops. The physiochemical properties will remain the same as long as the power supply remains constant. And that is the reason we power it with a solar power system. And the system is designed to operate only on direct current voltage. And the system uses a microcontroller, which is designed in a flexible and dynamic nature to allow up to 9 different fruit crops.
The only way you can excel in engineering is to ensure that you get yourself entrenched in R&D, which is research and development, and which Ugonshun is doing. And that's one of the reasons we partner with universities like FUNAB and some other institutions, and that's why you can see these projects, standing here.
Our university actually just commissioned a 3-megawatt solar system.
In Abeokuta, Lekon Agbonde, NTA News.
We now link up with Abeokuta, where Lekon Agbonde will give us more insight into this new fruit storage facility. Hello, Lekon. What more can you tell us about this facility invented by the University Dawn?
Thank you, Nolin. Yes, the constant norms in Nigeria's education system is the one we have where students and somebody who is seeking certificate at the university finish their project and it end up at the shelf gathering dust, because when the student get his certificate but the project behind me is being invented by a professor who completed his PhD, and he didn't allow that PhD to debar him. He went further to ensure that he execute the project, and the project here is called Harvest Harbor, which can store fruits, and these fruits can be like that for 12 months without changing color, without changing texture, or changing the originality. And this is the aspect of engineering agriculture in which they use digital technology to invent this one. And I have with me the inventor of this project, Dr. Akinola, who is going to tell us more about the component and the technology component of this project and its uses for the Nigeria socio-economic usage. Dr. Akinola, please, can you please tell us more about the components of this project and the use?
Yeah, the components made up of this project are the microcontroller, which is the electronic controller, coordinating the activities of the system. We have the refrigeration units, which are 2 pieces, both sides. We have the gas sensors, and we have the gas, components, and the building structure itself. So the system is made to combat post-harvest losses in our agricultural practices in Nigeria. So it works on the operation of vapor compression, in which case you maintain the temperature suitable for the fruit inside the chamber, and you control the atmosphere, which are why you see those gas components. And then the microcontroller automatically, make the conducive environment inside the chamber to make the plant live by not making them to exhibit any transpiratory or respiratory process.
Looking at this, what is the intention, talking about losses, any intention to duplicate something like this for the socioeconomic, especially in the agricultural sector?
Yeah, the major application is to support agricultural practices across the value chains, from the producer and the farmer to the wholesaler in the market and to the consumer at home and the food vendor processors, juice manufacturing, and all those value chains. So it combats post-harvest losses, which presently in Nigeria is put at about 60%. Imagine you are on production, you lose 60%. There is no way you can make any gain again. So with this technology,
Right, thank you very much, Lekon Abonde with the University down there, who has invented fruit storage facility. And moving on now, Nigerian students have continued to conquer the world in international academic competitions. The recent being the exploit of Master Adoga Agbo Daniel and Ovie Okpako Onyokoko, among other students who all emerged as overall best in the world in the Singapore and Asian Schools Maths Olympiad. This accomplishment was recently acknowledged at the Federal Ministry of Education with much encouragement and accolades for the students who wrote Nigeria's name in gold at the world stage. Abdullahi Ajia tells us more.
Nigeria's exploits in local and international academic competitions have never been in doubt. It got better with Ove Okpako Onyokoko in 2024, who conquered the world to emerge as the global champion in the Singapore and Asia Schools Maths Olympiad, and Adoga Agbo Daniel also repeated the same achievement in the 2025 edition held in April.
All this organization, this entire exam writing has helped me a lot. It's helped me to develop my skills, helped me to develop my thinking ability.
The secret is hard work, good friends and family to support you, also good trainers with experience.
Nigeria's dominance also produced silver and bronze medals in the competition, with over 47 countries and 1,000 competitors.
So I was a little bit surprised because I wasn't expecting such a score.
These global champions were in a brief ceremony presented to the Ministry of Education.
The FME, that is Federal Ministry of Education, retraces its commitment in providing sound educational policies and framework that aligns with the best global practices.
We are here to recognize and appreciate excellent performance.
Stakeholders say for Nigeria to emerge world-best in 2 successive years speaks volume that with more attention and support, more global champions will emerge in Abuja. Abdullahi Ajia, NTA News.
From Abuja, we take you to our Benin Network Center, where Udwakobong Achibong is waiting to deliver stories from that end. Hello, Udwakobong.
Welcome to Benin. No fewer than 400 of the 1,217 applicants who applied for various positions under the Edo State Hospital Management Agency will be engaged by the state government. The Executive Secretary of the agency, Dr. Nelson Tenebe, made the disclosure while addressing Government House Press Corps at the venue of the ongoing recruitment exercise at the State Secretariat in Benin City. Goodluck Kenaini has the detail.
The exercise, which is meant to select qualified health professionals to man the various fields in the health sector, is for the first time in 8 years handled by people who are not running consultancy services and have been attending to a good number of persons. Dr. Tenebe explained that the exercise is with due diligence in order to avoid mistakes of the past, where some persons who claim to be nurses and doctors did not have license to practice.
I found out that some people who said they were doctors don't even have license to practice. They've been fished out. Some of them, I suspended them until they bring their credible credentials. Then some of them, I remove them from my payroll. If you are qualified, if you have the necessary credentials, you will be given opportunity to practice in your field in any of our hospitals in Edo State.
He expressed optimism of improved standard of health care in Edo after the exercise.
From now on, after the interview, if you go to our general hospitals, you're going to be proud of Edo State, you're going to be proud of Governor Monday Okpebholo, and you're going to be proud of Hospital Management Agency.
Some of the applicants shared their experiences.
Therefore, we appreciate the state governor for providing this opportunity for us, and also he's doing a good job.
It's good, definitely. So I know I've tried my best, I've did my best. So I just pray for them to call me. Come and resume work.
The exercise is coming few weeks after the state governor, Senator Monday Okpebholo, effected the regularization of 126 contract staff at the Edo Specialist Hospital. In Benin, good luck in NTA News.
The Oba of Benin, Ewayo II, has returned to his palace in Benin City, Edo State, after a 1-month walking visit to Dubai, United Arab Emirates. The royal personage and a few family members upon arrival were received by the state deputy governor, Denisi Dahosa, and former governor of the state, Adams Oshomole. Obeyi Otobre Presai has the details.
Palace functionaries, including palace chiefs, dukes, and a few village heads, were also at the airport to receive the royal personage. Oba Ewaye II, while away, had mediated a business session with foreign investors from Foreign Investment Network in Dubai, where major economic decisions for takeoff were trashed out after some housekeeping. The business session tagged a royal encounter at Palm Jumeirah, one of the 7 emirates that make up the United Arab Emirates, was organized by the Foreign Investment Network, led delegation by Olayinka Fayomi. The forum was geared towards addressing deep-seated economic crisis in Edo State, in particular, and Nigeria at large, with the Oba leveraging his diplomatic skills for the overall benefit of Edo people at home and in the diaspora. In Benin, Obehi Otobre Presai, NTA News.
And that's it from Benin. Nationwide continues in Abuja with Norlin, but that will be after the break. Please stay.
Thank you for staying with us on Nationwide, and this is Abuja. In a major push to break barriers and keep girls in school, Jigawa State has launched a large-scale distribution of free school uniforms and sports kits to female students. This initiative aims to tackle economic hurdles that often force girls out of classrooms while fostering confidence and inclusion through sports. Mohammed Musa Askira reports on how this move could transform learning outcomes for girls in the state.
At the Girls Science Secondary School in Jahuni, it was a day of celebration and renewed hope. The state government officially flagged off the distribution of 30,000 school uniforms and 593 tracksuits, among other sports kits, to female secondary school students across the 3 senatorial zones of Jigawa. The initiative is part of broader educational reforms rolled out by the present administration with a special focus on girl-child education, from making education free for girls from basic to university level to awarding robust scholarships scholarship both locally and abroad for students in critical fields, Jigawa State is making deliberate investments that will shape the future. The school uniforms and sports facilities were officially handed over to the zonal directors of education representing the state 3 senatorial zones.
This is a deliberate attempt to ensure that our education system is not only for white-collar job, but also for technical job where middle-level manpower and also even a higher-level manpower on technology basically is produced in Jigawa State.
With these initiatives, stakeholders say Jigawa State is setting a commendable example in promoting equity in education and ensuring that no girl is left behind in the quest for knowledge and national development.
Thanks you, Your Excellency, for the free uniforms. Thank you for your leadership.
A powerful message from Jahun is that investing in girls today means securing a stronger and more educated Nigeria tomorrow. From Duty, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
From Dutse, we take you to Gombe, where several communities at the rural areas will be linked up with the urban area in Gombe State. This is as the State Executive Council approves the construction of over 74 kilometers of roads, mostly in the rural areas. Emmanuel Akila reports that the approval came along with funding of basic education, environmental protection and water provision during the 46th State Executive Council.
The Commissioner for Information, Culture and Ethical Orientation, Mijinyawa Arotilde, reeling out the projects ratified in the council meeting chaired by Governor Muhammad Ino Yahaya, while heads of various ministries concerned give details of the approved projects.
The release of 5.2 billion being the 2024 UBEC counterpart payment and the first quarter 2025 UBEC counterpart payment. This was ratified by Council. Council also approved that the subsequent second quarter, third quarter and fourth quarter 2025 payments should also be paid when they are due in the sum of 5.03 billion.
Council ratify the approval by the World Bank for the construction of 74.69 kilometers of roads across some local governments, specifically about 4 local governments. About 21 billion naira was ratified for the constructions of this 74.69 kilometers.
Other ratifications include support for the 969 2025 Gombe State intending pilgrims to ease their financial transactions, compensation for property owners affected by road constructions, and over 5 billion naira for the completion of the Muhammadu Buhari Industrial Park in Gombe. Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
And from Port Harcourt, Presidential Joint Task Force for Prosecution of Persons Involved in Pipeline Vandalism and Oil Theft has arraigned 15 suspects at the Federal High Court sitting in Port Harcourt for illegally dealing in petroleum products and tampering with pipelines. Ijoma Ugoke reports that the prosecution is an ongoing task force to check issues of tampering with national assets.
The prosecuting agencies involved are the police, DSS, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense, Nigerian Army, among others. The 15 suspects are alleged to have tampered with oil pipelines and were illegally dealing with petroleum products without license. Counsel to the task force team from the Office of the National Security Advisor, Abdul Rashid Ishakusidi, says out of the 15 suspects arraigned, 5 defendants denied the allegation as read in the charge.
The first charge contained 10 people, the second charge contained 5 people. The one containing 10 defendants was adjourned to 16th day of July for hearing, while the other one for 5 defendants, it was fixed for next week, 13th day of May.
About 100 suspects are being prosecuted and 50 suspects have been arraigned in courts. The task force is advising persons that indulge in the act to desist as federal government is determined to rid the country of criminal activities. In Port Harcourt, Ijomu Gweke, NTA News.
And on sports news, Gift George is standing by for update from the sporting world.
The federal government has reaffirmed its commitment to the growth and development of sports in the country with the inauguration of a 22-member planning committee tasked with preparing and coordinating modalities for receiving the Commonwealth Games Kings baton in Nigeria. The initiative comes as part of preparations ahead of the 2026 Commonwealth Games. The inauguration ceremony was presided over by the chairman of the National Sports Commission, Malam Shehu Diko, at the media center of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja. The relay serves as a rallying call for all the Commonwealth nations to unite in friendly competition and uphold the spirit of sportsmanship. To football, Nigeria's under-20 men's football team, the Flying Eagles, are set to face defending champions of the tournament, Senegal, in the quarterfinals come Monday, 12th May, at the ongoing tournament in Egypt. Senegal confirmed their place in the quarterfinals on Thursday with a 2-0 victory over DR Congo in their last Group C encounter, while Nigeria reached the quarterfinals after a 2-all draw with the Rising Stars of Kenya in their last Group B encounter. The Flying Eagles finished second in Group B with 5 points, 2 behind group leaders Morocco, thereby setting up a date against the defending champion Senegal on Monday, 12th May 2025. Afin Ladies and Golden Sun Sports have qualified for the semi-finals in the ongoing Prosperity Cup tournament. Tinipri Ohia reports that Afin Ladies beat Crystal Stars 3-1 on penalties after a 1-all draw in regulation time, as Golden Sun Sports Academy defeated Bayelsa State College of Nursing Sciences 5 unreplied goals.
The girls were G3 because of the kind of opponent, due to the fact that this team has been there for long. But I try to motivate them and I try to give them the mentality to go all the way.
It's a game of luck. At least we struggled and strive very hard to penalty shooters. And once a game goes to penalty shooters, it's just like a gamble. Any team can win.
Sports Update, Gift George, NTA News.
The sports news there concludes Nationwide. Thank you so much for being part of it. I am Nolin Ebel Ame. Bye for now.